What's going on, everybody? Old Dirty Collector here, and I'm back with another action figure review. Today's review, we're going to take a look at the retro G.I. Joe Classifieds Beachhead. There's some reuse from the original Beachhead here. It's very minimal, but I was actually pretty excited when they announced this, and I don't get overly excited about the retro stuff because I like a little bit of an update, but I feel like where the kind of Frankenstein figure that we have here is quite welcomed. There's a lot of reuse from Stalker here, but I think it actually does fit the character pretty well. The majority of the body is reused from Stalker. The head is, I want to say pretty much for the most part, reused from the original release. But we do get a new vest. We get a reused, satchel from the retro Snake Eyes. And then we get some grenades, which I'm not sure if those were reused before. But we do get a new harness, a leg harness, I believe, that is different. But it almost looks like a flipped version of Stalker's. But it might just be the same, to be honest with you. So there's a lot of reuse here. This is, not a requirement for you to get. But I feel like most people... due to nostalgia, will probably want to grab this one. Personally, I'm going to be honest with you here. I like the original quite a bit, actually. This is a nice offering. It's not egregious. I have some specific things I don't like about the accessories that he comes with. Very specific things, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get into the actual figure itself. I think the thing I hate the most is that they keep doing this with Beachhead, and it drives me absolutely bananas. Stop doing this green weaponry for people. It's unnecessary unless it's got a specific actual meaning. And by meaning, I actually am referring to camo or like a burlap wrap for a rifle or something like that to blend in. And I get it. It's supposed to look like his original figure. I get it. From a certain point of view, I guess you could go with that, but the biggest, I think, pet peeve I have about this figure is this rifle, and I hate this design. This rifle design is, or I shouldn't say a rifle, it's a submachine gun. I hate it. I don't like it. It's so bendy and so pliable that it wants to flex while you're trying to get him to look down the sights, and it drives me absolutely up a wall. I can't stand it. So this is probably the worst thing that he comes with. I hate it. They not only did that, but I feel like the plastic is even more... I don't know. There's something about the green color that makes it look even more pathetic. The mag is removable. You can take the suppressor off. It's essentially the same exact submachine gun that we got with the retro Firefly. The grenades, which are removable and want to fly off and get lost very easily, you can put them on his harness there, but they, like I said, they want to flex and fly off because the plastic on the handle is quite pliable and movable. So while that's a good thing, it's also probably a detriment to it. They gave us the same backpack from before. I like the sculpt of the original backpack. It's great. But yet again, they they gave him another green crossbow. Why? Like, just make it black. I can go and paint this. That's fine for me. But not everyone wants to paint their figures. Just stop doing this. I can't. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I hate it. So, and I get it. Like I said, yet again, I'll reiterate. I understand. Oh, well, they're just trying to give you the same look that you got when you were a kid. I get it. But this is ass. And I hate this. I like the backpack. I hate the crossbow. It's just... like I said, the satchel is from the Retro Snake Eyes. We've seen it before. So it's nothing too crazy. The figure itself, I think, looks very aesthetically appealing. I love the body, the Stalker body. I love it. It's like one of my favorite Joe bodies. Simplistic, but you can use it across the board with a lot of different characters. So I don't mind it. The camo on the pants is a little bit better than normal. Here's the original figure, which did not have any camo on him whatsoever, which is perfectly fine. The head sculpt is a little bit more realistic here, I would say. The darker tones for the skin. It's a little bit lighter here. But he also has a darker green for his upper torso and his shirt and balaclava and all that. I still kind of prefer the sculpt here. Even though that this body is probably a lot better for posing. This body's a little bit hindered in certain areas just because it was a very early figure. But I gotta say that I still like this a little bit better. There's just something about it that fits the bill more for him. And he came with an awful rifle too that was horribly green, and it was like a based off a Nerf gun. So I gridironed him up a little bit, and I gave him a sidearm. If I can get it out, good lord. Which is actually a SIG P320. So there's that. That's actually one of the guns a gun I own. Same backpack, like I said. Here's if there's any differences here. A little bit of a lighter green for the retro, where there's a darker green here. And this thing is just wanting to bend all over the place. But it still plugs into his back. I had to give him some sort of other rifle, which I think this fits kind of his aesthetic. Give him a scar too if you wanted to, but I don't know. I just like this build better. It feels a little bit more tactical than the new one. Yeah, I still like this. I mean, I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't like it, but and I like the retro looking vest. There's a little bit of paint slop on mine right there. So there's that. Here's the back of the vest. He does have his beret right here. He does come with the same kind of, I don't know if it's like based off a Kimber or whatever it's based off of, but it's an extended mag on it, and it's the same thing that came with Stalker, same thing with the Hush Puppy, which connects right here. So there's that. And then he does come with the Stalker knife, which is green. You know, I guess I don't mind the handle being green on the knife. And then he comes with another knife right here for his boot, which I would never personally want a knife hanging off my boot, but that's just, I guess, you know, the original aesthetic. So that's what they were going for. Anyway, the figure's articulation as far as that goes is he's got a swivel at the head. He can look up about that far, nothing too great. He can look down pretty well, tilt side to side. Like I said, he can't swivel a full 360. There's a hinge joint, so he can actually look up a little bit further than what I was talking about. So we do have a hinge joint there. And like I said, you can tilt side to side. Let's see if we got Drive Turkeys. A little bit of gobbles. Arms go up about that far. They go down. Full 360 in the arm. He does have a better butterfly joint than the original release. Swivel at the bicep as well. Double jointed elbows, which are pinless, as opposed to the original, which had pins. I know that's a deal breaker for some people, so just pointing it out. Swivel at the wrist. He does have a lateral hinge joint, and then he does have a vertical hinge joint on the other side. So they actually made him a righty finally. That's good. Legs go forward. They go back. Upper thigh swivel. He does have drop downs as well. Sorry, I didn't point that out. Upper thigh swivel, which was a little bit tight on mine. Double jointed knee. Pinless yet again. He does have that boot swivel. Pointy toe. Pointy heely. Ankle pivot. 2 peg holes. And he also does have a waist swivel and an ab crunch, which is actually in there. You can see the joint. And he can crunch back. And he can crunch forward. You actually do get a spot where you can crunch him. So I would say, as far as range of motion, much better. Much improved. Is this my go-to look for him for classifieds? Probably not. It is nicer to have this darker tone. I think putting him on missions where maybe he wants to be a little bit lighter, where this guy right here is dressed a little bit more heavily tactical, I think it makes sense to have both. If you like Beachhead, I think you'll enjoy this, and you can enjoy this. I like them both. Like I said, I'd lean a little bit more towards him aesthetically. He's much more fluid when it comes to posability. So there's that. The accessories, the extra accoutrement, it's fine. He also comes with a display stand, which we've seen with other retros. I like the stands. The stands are quite nice. It would be nice if their name was on the actual stand. That would have been cool, but that's not a deal breaker whatsoever. That's more of a nitpick. I would say that the paint apps, I would say there's probably a lack of paint apps more so on him as opposed to him, which he's using a little bit more paint apps, but there's also paint slop. So it's like, give him a point, take away point, you know? I don't know. There's just something about this original one, even with the pins and stuff like that, where I just like the aesthetic a little bit better. I'm just being honest here. Comparing him with another retro figure to fit right in with your retro collection, a really good release is Duke. I think this is actually quite a beautiful release. I still need to shoot his review. I don't know why I didn't do that. But anyway, a lot of these retros are reusing parts and pieces and stuff like that. And I think it makes perfect sense. Let's get him on a display stand too, so we can get them next to each other at the right height. And I think this is a good look. So if you like the retro line, that's great. I think it's a good, it's still solid line. It'll give you that 80s nostalgia in a more modern time. I think this is a beautiful figure. So is this one. I think Duke is a little bit more well done, a little bit more polished than Beachhead here. But Beachhead's still a really good figure. So I think you guys will enjoy him if you don't already have him. I'm dropping hands all over the place. I don't know how much else there is to really say about him. Mr. Beachhead, Mr. Beecher himself. But like I said, I do think as far as improvements go, I like the tack vest design. Wish the paint was a little bit better, crisper. I love the camo is much more predominant as opposed to what we've seen in the past with, like, you know, they really dropped the ball with Stalker, and his camo and some of the other camos are really just kind of lost in the sauce when it comes to, you know, the matching tones are going too dark with a camo and you can't really pick it up, where here you can actually see it a little bit better. So they're getting a little bit better, still not quite there, but you know, I think this is a nice solid offering. I hate the submachine gun. Get this out of here. Stop. Don't ever. I mean, I get it. It's based on a retro figure. Just stop doing this. I don't care if it's based on a retro figure and the figures, you know, like in some of the figure releases, they were like orange and green. No, just stop that. Just make them black. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be that much of a 100% home run to the retro, because this is a modern figure still at the end of the day. So, but I like the sculpt of the backpack. I think it's a good design. I like the fitment. I like the fun fitment that you have here with the crossbow, and it kind of settles right in there, and it also looks like the retro figure. So, you know, that's cool stuff. I like cool little designs like that with figures that have, you know, the weapon storage, such. I liked being able to take my figure, put everything on him or her, and you know, have a play day or whatever you're going to do. You're going to hang out with the figures and take photos or whatever you're doing. But he can technically hold all of his stuff. Like I said, these grenades, if you take them for, you know, take them outside, just keep an eye on those grenades because they like to go flying. I might end up just gluing them there because I feel like it's kind of pointless to have them loose. But it's a solid figure. I would give it... What am I going to give it? I think Duke is better objectively. So I'll give him a 1 thumb up. And I'll give him... I'll give him an okay. I think there's some improvement here. That there could be some improvement. Excuse me, I'm talking backwards. There could be some improvement here. There is some improved things. Like I think this is a far better body to be using on Beachhead, but there's some things that kind of are like wah, you know. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm sure you have yours. I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm still going to stick to my guns here and say he's a 1 thumb up with possibly some improvement down the line. Maybe they make another Beachhead. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, I digress. That's pretty much it for me. There's not really too much else to talk about with him. Simple figure. And if you don't have a Beachhead, I would definitely recommend him still. If you don't have the original and you don't want it, pick this guy up. He's readily available. He's retail. He's not going for an exorbitant amount of money. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please subscribe if you like this content. Be sure to hit a thumb up or a thumb down. And leave a comment below for that beautiful area for discourse. And I will see you guys on the flip side.